Thanks for joining us, Luke. Can you just talk us through how challenging a chapter this is? I suppose, particularly as a captain of the club, how do you sort of try to keep everyone together when you're kind of literally in isolation?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think probably the more disappointing thing for the boys is you go through a full pre-season, you put in the hard works for the 5-6 months, getting ready for the season. You finally get a taste of round one, and it's obviously taken away from you. But for the main thing is for the boys is we've got our WhatsApp groups, we've got our our line groups, which we're continuously staying in contact, even with the coaches, the staff. We've got our program, so I know a few boys still live together, which is good. Obviously, it's difficult times for everyone at this moment to keep that camaraderie with the boys and with the whole team. But look, we're doing what we can to keep everyone engaged. I think we've still had a few football meetings about reviewing the first game, and we've tested a few things out, and it's gone pretty well so far. So the main thing for us is to continue to check in with each other and do what we can.
Luke, it's Luke Duffy from Nine News here. I just wanted to ask you, there's been a few suggestions in sports around the world about players potentially going into bubbles and isolating away from family so codes can restart. Is that something that you'd be open to doing if we could get games going again?
Yeah, I think it's I'd hate to be the logistics team to put that together. Look, I know the AFL is looking at getting the season up and running again in multiple ways, and there's some pretty creative ways. So, look, I'm sure they've floated that option. Whether it gets to that or not, I'm not too sure. But for me, I'd see it. The main thing is we've got to listen to the government at the moment and the AFL and what their guidelines are. And look, probably for us, I'm sure some players would be more open to it than others. But we just have to wait and see if it actually gets to that point.
How's your training going, Luke? Are you partnering up with someone?
I haven't at the moment. So we had, you kind of got to, our club's treated a little bit like an off season. So you need to deload probably for the first 2 weeks, which we had, and still keep the body moving, but nothing too intense. And then as of this week, it's starting to pick up into another block. So I think we'll do probably a 4-week block once we can reassess where the AFL is at and where the games are at. And then obviously we'll just go from there, whether we need to lighten off again and re-go. It's just a hard thing not knowing when we're starting in terms of you want to kind of peak your fitness, and it's going to be hard to keep your absolute max fitness for 12 weeks not knowing when the season's starting. So I think it's just getting that balance right, but I've been doing what I can at the moment.
The AFL said that they'll likely have some sort of solution or structure to go by the end of this month. Is it, I guess, it good to have a tiny bit of light at the end of the tunnel?
Yeah, I think the main thing for probably the fitness staff, the conditioning staff, for them and for the boys, I guess well-being is just knowing what the future looks like and giving a timeline. I think then you can start planning on where we need to improve over the next 4 weeks and how do we get ourselves back to where we were round one. We thought we were in a really good headspace, and after our probably poor start to the community series, we came into round one feeling really confident, and it would have been nice to put in a month of football before this all came to a stop. But like, it's just more planning, I guess, moving forward, how to get back to that mindset and be ready for when games do return.
How are you staying busy, Luke, apart from a little bit of training? You say you're deloading, but the other clubs have got their players studying or doing work experience. Some are learning an instrument or a new language. Are you doing anything on the side?
I'm not learning a new language, I can tell you that much. But I've got a renovation at the moment that's happening just up the road here. So I've been putting the work boots on for a bit, doing what I can to keep busy, and that's been good for me. Otherwise, I would have been in a state where you can kind of get into the routine of, I guess, you're sleeping in and not wondering what to do at the moment besides train. So I think for me, it's good. I've got a bit more structure with a work site to go to at the moment. So that's what's keeping me busy at the moment.
Parks, Vince here from the Sydney Morning Herald, mate. You've also been pictured at the Addison Road Centre with Craig Foster and some other former Swans players doing the Play for Lives campaign. How'd you sort of get roped in there, and what are you enjoying about the work that Fozzie's tirelessly pulling together there in the charity space?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I think Kieran Jack, who has a lot to do with Craig, he contacted me and asked if I would come down and help out for a few hours. I know Nick Smith and Kieran had been working there the week before for a couple of days. And look, obviously we've got a lot of spare time on our hands and I was happy to put my hand up and help out. And what he's created is an incredible thing. It's called Play for Lives. So the concept is, while players can't play for points and ladder positions, we're playing for lives, and it's making sure that we're still looking after people in less fortunate situations than us, whether that's homeless or people in housing or government housing or Indigenous communities. Is getting together and making sure all their food boxes are stacked, and different companies are coming together to deliver to their different charities. And it's just giving a hand there. I think they're asking all sportsmen around the world Australia can help out with their communities, and it'll just continue to grow and grow. I think it's a great concept that, as I said, a lot of sportsmen, whether you're a local footballer who normally has 2 or 3 trainings a week in a game, instead of spending your time training, you could get down to your local wherever they're stationed and help out, which is fantastic what they're doing.
What do you make of Fozzie? You've probably seen him over the years on the SBS soccer coverage, or last year helping free Hakeem Al-Arabi from that Thai jail. I can imagine if you're coming into his orbit for the first time, he's a pretty full-on character. He knows what he wants, doesn't he?
He is, and I asked him, I was like, who came? Because I didn't understand when I first got there. Kieran just asked me to come down. I'm like, who's come up with this concept? And Craig came straight over, and he just showed the passion and how quickly he got things moving and the ball rolling. And he said it's just gone in 1 week. It's just gone crazy and will continue to grow. And I think it's everything he gets his hand on, he just turns to gold. So look, he's passionate about this project, as he should be. And I think it's a great concept.